Who wants to start their day out hearing some SP success stories? I know I do. If you want to hear about some pretty dope success stories involving SPs, then you're going to want to stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to not another rousing episode of Spilling the Tea Tuesday, but I think today is going to be SP Success Sunday. I am going to go over some awesome success stories that I have gotten recently and that I've meant to make a video about, and I have not been able to do so. So I'm going to do that today. Before I get started, I want to remind you guys that the masterclass, manifestation masterclass, the only class that you would ever need, not that you need a class, but if you wanted to have one, we've got one for you, Nikki and myself, Coach Nikki. It actually, the live for that class will be in, hold on, trying to do some math here, about 10 hours. And by the time I post that video, probably be even less, probably be like 8 or 9 hours before the class, because the class is today, Sunday, at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if you've always wanted to do a boot camp with me or a crash course with Nikki and myself, and you haven't had the opportunity, well, we took the Get Your Shit boot camp and combined it basically with the crash courses, Nikki's biofeedback, a phone call with me. It comes with, you know, the class, the course that you would get with the GYS bootcamp. It also comes with the live that is going to be today. You get like 4 weeks of accountability and a special Facebook group where Nikki and myself give you accountability, feedback, hold you accountable for about 4 weeks, 5-6 days a week. And then you get a call with me and you get a month of biofeedback with Nikki. So it's basically like a Get Your Shit bootcamp on steroids. So if you feel stuck, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're like, I can't figure out my affirmations, if you're struggling to keep a clean mental diet, if you just haven't been able to stay on track or continue to be on your routine, then you're going to want to check this out. We offer a version that has just the course, you know, the class with the live and the accountability, or you can get the whole shebang. So it's up to you. I'm going to put the links below for you guys. And so there's that. There is that. I just wanted to say, just saying. Super quick side note for those of you who may not have noticed, Sammy's Mermaid Gang Facebook group is still up, but you can no longer post. No new members can join, and it's hidden now. So if you are not a part of Sammy's Mermaid Gang, you can't currently join it. Sammy said that she might do some different things in the future. She's debating on that. But Nikki and I do have a Facebook group called The Assumption Effect. We do have, in case you haven't heard, I have this YouTube channel. Nikki has her YouTube channel, which is All Things Mindset, which I can put a link in that below. And then we actually have another YouTube channel where we talk together. We have podcasts, we have discussions. So 2 coaches having a friendly banter, but getting in deep with some of the manifestation topics, some things that a lot of people don't actually talk about. Why? Because I don't think they understand manifestation that well, or even know what to say. So if you want to hear some funny banter between 2 coaches, because I consider myself the funniest, wittiest coach on YouTube, and so we're kind of like the funniest, wittiest coaching duo on YouTube. Links for that are going to be below. So like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to like The Assumption Effect, Nikki's channel. And if you want a Facebook group where you can post success stories and have some motivation and bring back like some of the fun things that we used to do when, you know, back in the day, then come over to The Assumption Effect Facebook group where you can interact with Nikki and I. We're still Sammy's coaches. We still work with Sammy. It's just a Facebook group is no longer taking members or success stories. So, you know, you can share your success stories with us and have some fun. And, you know, talk to Sammy about it. She's totally cool with that. She's cool with us, you know, having the Facebook group and having some fun over there. So anyhow, now back to the video, yo. So I'm going to get into reading these success stories. Some of the ones that I've gotten, they actually talk about like what they felt, what they went through, or how things seemed for them. So I'm going to do my best, and I'll edit out the baloney when I'm trying to fumble over myself. So here we go. Hi Flossie, I just wanted to send you a little update since our call. I've really been living in the end. I wrote several FU letters and a command letter last night. If you want to know what those are as a side note, I will link the video here. I wrote several FU letters and a command letter last night, and today SPs acted obsessed. He texted me all day long. He told me he misses me, and he said that he really wants to hang out. 3 weeks ago, he said we can't hang out anymore. Yeah, right. Not in our reality, period. I'm affirming a lot more, and I know it's working out perfectly. I'm ignoring my old story thoughts and changing them to he's just obsessed and in love with me because he's my boyfriend. Things are happening so fast. Thank you so much. And of course, I responded like, holy moly, what did I tell you? I don't give a fuck what any SP has to say. Stick it in the trash where it belongs. Glad the tools are helping, feeling powerful yet. And she says, yes, also last night I saw him and he told me he's always loved me. We had a good/bad night. A lot of old stuff played out. He told me a lot of what I've been affirming. It's been the biggest movement I've ever had. I know this is the turning point. He told me he can't stop thinking about me. He loves me. He misses me. He feels safe with me. He went on and on about it. I'm so happy. He just said he's scared of commitment, but I'm affirming that he's madly in love with me, loves being my boyfriend. I wish I could call you today. I feel like this is finally happening and I could literally cry. I'm telling her this is so awesome. I'm literally happy for you. Don't worry about the small amount of old story. That's a ton of movement. Since she's showing up, saying he's scared of commitment, affirm something like SP feels so secure in our relationship, or SP feels so comfortable in our relationship, or SP feels safe being vulnerable with me. Or if the fear of commitment boils down to another issue, create an affirmation that would imply that it isn't so. And then I asked if I could share her success stories. And I said also, make sure you write a FU letter and command letter to the stupid BS he said. Facts. She wrote back and said, I'm definitely going to start affirming that he feels safe and secure in our relationship. The doubt really got to me last night. I'm not going to lie, but I'm okay and I'm back at it. Feel free to share my success. This has been the craziest movement I've ever had. I've had like 10 or so coaches and paid over $10,000 on this journey with courses, coaching, and no one was able to help me the way you did. For 2 years, I've been thinking he never had feelings for me because he's told me that to my face 100 times, but somehow I've convinced my subconscious mind that he really is in love with me and that he admitted that he has feelings for me all along. So she goes on to say that they were having a great night. He was so cuddly, made her dinner. And then, of course, the old version of herself kind of got in the way. And, some old story was brought up. But, of course, people recognize that after it happens. She says, it was great to have the movement with him. The bigger movement was seeing how much I've changed and shifted. The old me would have left his place and cried for a week. Obviously we're referring to some of the old story that came up. And probably would have blocked him. I just know that I'm not that girl anymore. I know I have the power in this situation, and I know I'm the one that gets to decide what happens. And so you want to keep in mind that you just affirm and persist and keep going. And, when some old story had come up, she went ahead and she wrote another FU letter and a command letter. And then, she was doubtful of like what would happen. I mean, she even wrote and said that she was doubtful about what would happen. But then she said he came back. He sent me hundreds of apology texts and took accountability for everything. We texted about it for hours. I know this isn't the version of him I want, but he did admit that he's always had feelings and he's sorry, that he was always scared to commit. And, now she's been listening to the commitment rampage, feeling focused that she can turn this around, and is now just continuing to persist. And she says, thank you so much for all your help. I'm really looking forward to our call. And because somehow I got him to come back and he can't function without me. So I would just say, keep going, keep persisting, keep pushing through, because everything that you're saying is literally, what do we call it? Hardcore fucking facts. That's just what we have to say. Okay, success story number 2. So my client wrote me and said, I've had movement. He said this to me this morning. No one comes close to the way I feel when I speak to you. We've just been on a call and he told me that he loves me. He made a comment like, here's boyfriend, and I'm going to keep persisting until it hardens into fact. And she was saying, I feel so powerful now. I affirmed maybe twice that he's going to put his location on for me and get what he's just done. Obviously put on location for her. And she, said that in another update that with her and SP, it's been going well. They've been getting along, and he calls and messages her. And, she knows that you got to just keep affirming and persisting. And that's what she does, is she just literally keeps affirming and persisting. So someone else wrote me with success story number 3. She said, hi, Flossie, a quick one. We spoke the other day and I was talking about SP and how I was going to the city that he was in and that I really hadn't heard from him, etc. Not sure if you can recall. Of course I recall. And I hadn't seen him in a month and a bit, and I wanted to go for dinner, but I felt like he was sort of ghosting me. Anyway, I stood firm in my center and kept affirming. I go to the city, he hasn't messaged me, I felt disheartened. I decided to work on other self-concept affirmations of, I'm so lucky, everything always works out for me. I kept affirming with this. Within 2 hours, he messaged me, and I spent 2 days with him. And now he's been writing me more consistently. Midpoint success story will keep persisting till it hardens into fact and the full manifestation occurs, as he hasn't quite shown up how I want him to right now. Also, the FU letter and command letter really helped. And of course, I said, I love this for you. I see how powerful you are, standing in our power. And guess what? The 3D started conforming. And of course, I asked if I could share anonymously, which she said would be fine. And she said, yes, absolutely. I'm going to keep persisting now, which I'm doing, and wait until the whole thing shifts into how I want. Upon your advice, I actually got a counter app so that I could see how much I was affirming on any given day. And you were so right, a lot less than I thought. Now I'm focused, affirming for blocks of 5 minutes, and then keeping a good mental diet throughout the day. Thanks, Flossie. You've really helped me. I'll keep you updated, of course, and book another session with you. Not to mention my mood is great. Fabulous. That's what happens when you have a regular routine and you're actively affirming, like I say to do the focused affirming with a counter app. If you haven't seen my video on focused affirming, I'm going to post it here because most people actually affirm a lot less than what they think that they do. And then she sent me another update and said, wow, Flossie, a lot more to update you with. I don't even know where to begin. So I've been affirming, I'm so lucky, everything always works out for me and I always get what I want. Here are the results. My current house sale and purchase of new property was blocked by a difficult lawyer. Circumstances looked awful. I kept affirming the above, and a week later, the whole situation had flipped around, much to my surprise and everyone involved. My business wasn't making much money, but I made 2,000 pounds worth of sales in one day. Contracts that were late and due suddenly came in. A surprising mentor turned up for me work-wise, who would be my dream person to work with. I was planning a work event and she names a Europe city, but with no funds, I didn't understand how it would be possible to do so. My publicist and PR team randomly called me and told me they have merged with an amazing PR firm in that city. Hosting an event there would be super easy now. I started robotically affirming for SP. Yesterday, shortened my affirmations down to 2 so I could power them out, focused on blocks of 5 minutes when I was walking the dog, etc. SP and I are in a committed, loving relationship. I'm the love of his life. In 24 hours, he messaged me and called me. He told me he had a dream about something I had posted him. He initiated conversation, which is unlike him. He also called me, which is also unlike him, on the phone, so sweet and sincere. Gotta persist, but I know it's ultimately done. I'm loving this. I'm also saying I manifest easily and effortlessly, and it helps. So awesome success story. Just got to keep going. Got to keep persisting, pushing through, because you literally can do have anything that you want. Another success story. So I think this is like number 4 now. Hey, Flossie, small, tiny update. So for the contacting is more and more consistent day by day. And his boss told him how they're going to be in my area for 2 years, when originally it was only 6 months. Enough time for me to finish my degree. He wasn't a big fan of doing long distance due to his past relationship. I honestly didn't expect it, but it made me just realize how your reality will literally bend itself around. Yeah, it bends to your will. It bends to your dominant thoughts and assumptions. I said, OMG, this is huge. What an amazing manifestation. You must be feeling so powerful. Update. She sent me an update. He asked me to be his girlfriend. This kind of turned into a situationship, and I asked him, can you give me an answer if this will get serious by the end of the week? So I brought up in the question again last weekend, and he said to give him a month. I said, okay, but in my head, he asked me out instead. I was persistent, living in the end, and thinking as if with the affirmations today, and today we made it official. The command and FU letters were definitely a big help. Thank you so much, Flossie. I'm so happy right now. My response, holy shit. We had our call like a week ago. That was hella fast. Can I share your success story? She agreed and didn't have a problem with that. So, I mean, there you go. There you go. So I think this is now a success story. I'm wanting to say number 5. Wow, girl, you weren't kidding on the movement. I've been diligent with my affirmation schedule, doing 5 minutes for each 5 times a day. I believe she means each topic, because usually I say 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes per topic. So 5 minutes each, 5 times a day, and it's only been a couple of days, and I've already seen an increase in communication, as well as now he's sending me memes a couple times a day too. And today I went to the storage unit, came home a different way than I normally do because traffic was just a bitch to get out and go the other way. And then down the street, there he was walking his dog. I've been here a month and I haven't seen him walk by yet. It's also not a route he said he normally takes because it's a longer route, and he was just injured last week. But there he was, limping right past my house. Yes, ma'am, I'm on his mind, and everything is reminding me of him. I can't wait to see what's next. Also, I've been utilizing the letters more, and it's really helping a lot. It's beginning to get a lot easier to not jump to that old story and also keep my thoughts and assumptions in check. I will keep you posted. And then I wrote, I totally love this for you. I told you movement can come on quick. The tools can make persisting so much easier. You've got to be feeling powerful. She says, powerful is an understatement. This is amazing. I said, oh, I'm so excited. Or I said, this is so, it's so exciting. Can I share this anonymously? Which she said, yes, ma'am, absolutely. If this can give someone the hope and motivation and encouragement, then I'm absolutely for it. And yes, this is super exciting. I can't wait to see what else happens. And then she continues to write, hey, happy Easter. I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to share yet another thing with you that you're absolutely free to share if you'd like. But this, in my opinion, is a motivation that if you persist, it works. So I was looking forward to another day of some movement. And I can't even say I got the opposite. So this morning, it was a usual good morning with happy Easter, a little chat. He said he wasn't feeling well. Around lunchtime, I started noticing that I hadn't heard from him. I picked up my phone to text him and stopped when I noticed he wasn't active. Full transparency, my first thought was, oh no, he's with like a third party or something. Immediately, I was like, no, we're not doing that. That's an old story. We're diligently keeping a clean mental diet no matter what it takes. I doubled down on my affirmations and kept them robotically. I was struggling. So a trick I learned way back when I first started manifesting was to sit and have an honest conversation with myself and my higher self, kind of like coaching myself. I started with the question, what are you feeling? And peeled back the layers from there. After I got through it and wiped away my tears, I assigned a brand new story to what he was doing. He was doing yard work, chores, getting ready for the week, and he wasn't feeling good, so he relaxed and snoozing on and off. No matter what thought popped into my head, and there was really some fucking ugly ones, I went, nope, this is old story. This is what's happening, and I continued with that all day long. I also listened to a section of the course I bought from you on clean mental diet, persisting in hot and cold behavior. Still nothing from him. I picked up my phone again, this time with my mentality of, okay, if we're already together, and I picked up my phone to text him, what would stop me? Nothing. So I sent him a text, how's your Sunday going? And he responded right away with relaxing, followed by him saying he didn't feel like peopling today. So here's the thing. When I created a list of a perfect version of him, one of the things that was on the list was consideration of my feelings, which in my opinion is him saying that he didn't feel like peopling today, which is basically him also saying, I just don't feel like talking much. Don't take it personally. So although this isn't the movement I saw yesterday and the day before, it's still movement because he's conforming. I've seen the version of him that I would have liked just said relaxing and nothing else. There was a little conversation after that. Also, I've probably written 25 fuck you letters today, LOL, but it really did help to get up the emotion I was feeling about not hearing from him. It also kept me from getting salty about it too. Had I not, I think I would have ended up in victim status, salty as hell, being stubborn about it. Instead, I chose to check my thoughts constantly, apply a story that worked, get some support from videos, and persist. The outcome, nothing for me to worry about. Homeboy just needed a day to decompress. Nothing wrong with that. I did that. I did all that. It had its moments. I'm not going to lie. I cried a little, not spiraling, few tears, used the tools, and it not only got me through the day, but with a pleasant outcome. So please pass along to whomever needs to hear this. Yeah, and in the thick of it, sometimes it can suck, but it gets easier. You just have to stay with it. And like you say in your video, both feet in. And I wrote back and said, I love that you narrowed down what was bothering you. I do talk to people about that. Figure out what the thoughts are boiling down to, what's triggering, so it can be addressed. And then you created a story that worked for you, assigned a meaning that was to your advantage. You didn't react in the 3D or stay in victim state. Like, let's not create more BS to overcome. You're rocking it. He's conforming, period. Just keep going. So, I mean, that is, some real time information of how it seemed to somebody. And she did exactly what you're supposed to do. If your mind wants to tell you something that's from old story and you don't want to re-experience that, you literally stick it in the garbage can where it belongs. I know you guys remember my owl trash can. I just got to reach around and grab it. But you see this trash can? This is where the BS of the 3D reality that's no longer serving you goes. And that's what she did. She kept persisting. She didn't spiral. She didn't cause herself, an unintentional delay. She just kept pushing forward, and her day turned out basically the way that overall, was better than what it would have been if she hadn't done this. And she's recognizing that, and she pointed it out in there. And that's why I wanted to read that one. Even though it was from around Easter time, that's how long it's been that I've been collecting some of these because I have not had time to make the video. So success story, I think this is number 6. Person writes, hey Flossie, I hope you're doing phenomenal. I wanted to share something funny with you. So last night I watched your new video you just released the one that I had the Chewbacca card, which OMG, SP has completely changed. He's everything I've ever wanted him to be. Whoa, love that. But anyway, and maybe I should link that video here because it might help some of you. But anyway, a couple hours later, I came downstairs for a drink and my son was on the couch watching something on YouTube. And when I walked by, he growled at me and I started laughing. And he said, "How do you like my Chewbacca growl?" And I said, "What?" And he repeated it and immediately started laughing and thought that's some shit. I just literally watched that on Flossie's video. And she's talking about Chewbacca, and then my son acts like he can growl like Chewbacca. I didn't even think he watched the movie of Star Wars and never was something he was into. I just thought it was funny and happened, something literally never said before, which made it even more funny. And then here is where the success comes in. Hey girl, let me tell you what happened because my mind is straight up blown. So literally just over the last 3 days, I've added a new affirmation to my routine. SP and I are always spending time together. And sometimes I use a variation of he's always asking to see me. We always see each other, things like that. So last night he asked if I wanted a couple lounge chairs. I said yes, didn't think much of it, moved on. Today I get in my car to take a kid to a friend's house. His address popped up on my GPS. That hasn't happened in a long time. I always say I'm going to see him soon. When that happens, I come home and I'm laying out, literally doing my affirmations in my head, and the one about spending time together. And I shit you not, he texts me and says, if he can bring me the chairs. Girl, what? He didn't even know if my kids were home. He didn't even ask. He's never met them. So I'm like, yeah, of course. He comes over and I find out that him and his children are just cutting some trees. So you mean to tell me he just randomly decided in the middle of cutting trees to bring me chairs? I literally live 5 minutes from him, but he made the comment that his son was cutting trees. So again, you mean to tell me that you just randomly decided in the middle of cutting trees to ask if you can bring me some chairs? LOL, girl, I don't think I've stopped laughing yet. Of course you're going to ask me to come over, even if it's just to bring me chairs because we see each other every day. OMG, this is insane. Side note, I'd been wavering and not living in the end enough till about 3 days ago. Something clicked. I was upset in my head. And I realized it was literally all coming from ego and my perception was way off. So I decided I'm done with this. I'm standing 10 toes down on it no matter what. I had let something said about an ex get in my head, but no more. I took control. And since I've done that, movement is consistent. Every day I'm seeing something new. But this I had to share. Also, I don't know what it is about Star Wars with him and his son were watching Star Wars and or something last night when he said it. But this is just too funny. It goes to show you how it is all literally connected. And I would say that those are just what? Facts. I guess this is the second to last one. So maybe what is this, like, I don't know, 6, 7, something around there. Client wrote, "Hi Flossie, I hope you're doing well. I had email coaching with you last year. You sent me some affirmations to go about my day with, and life got a whole heap better. I didn't get the man I thought I wanted. In fact, I got a whole new man, and he is absolutely everything I wanted in a man. There's passion, love, excitement. He spoils me. I ask for nothing, and I get everything. I'm still manifesting things that will make our family life easier, and I know it's on its way. I very nearly gave up on finding my perfect match. Thank you, Flossie." Of course, I said, "Oh, you're welcome. Happy for you and all of your success. See how powerful you are? It's okay to have your desires change. Our desires have always changed. I'm delighted that you're so happy now," and asked if I could share her success. And she said, "This man is everything. I put so much doubt in what I was capable of because I kept watering down my power and questioning what I deserved and self-worth. Of course you can share, hun. I stood in my power and my man arrived within 2 to 3 weeks of starting coaching with you." I would say, of course he did. Why? Because all my clients are success stories, period. And the last thing I wanted to share, which is either 6, 7, or 8, I don't know, I lost count, is I got an email from a client and person wrote, "Flossie, they broke up. Not only did they break up, my celeb SP DM'd me back and followed me. Now his fans are wondering who this new girl is he's following. Well, it's me. Genuinely want to say I thank you, thank you, thank you. Your advice is pure gold. I'm happy right now. I'm shaking. Seriously, can't thank you enough for all your wonderful advice." And I said, "Holy moly, of course your celeb SP is totally into you, period. Some hardcore fucking facts. You must feel exceptionally powerful. I'm so happy for you. Yay. Can I share this?" And she said, "Yes, absolutely. I prefer to say anonymous if that's okay, but sure, I've never doubt I can manifest anything I want ever again." And so her SP, some celeb that, had a relationship with someone. Well, the 3P's gone. SP is following her on social media, and there you go. I'm waiting for the update that he's like locked, signed, sealed, and delivered. Anywho, I'm hoping that some of this is inspiring to you and that you realize from this video that if you buckle down and you really start affirming and start persisting, things can turn around quickly. If you saw it in there, my clients got things moving fairly quickly, even if it took a while for them to update me. Having said that, I'm hoping that by reading some of the things that they went through or what they chose to do, the tools that they were using, how much they were affirming, that also helps you in your journey. It's not like they were affirming 24/7, 365. They were keeping a clean mental diet the best they could. They were using tools to help reduce resistance and emotions and all that around the manifestation, the FU letter and command letter. And then they were, just staying on top of it or making stories that worked for them, like challenging themselves to figure out what is really bothering me here so I can get to the root of my issue that I'm having so that I can keep affirming and persisting. What story can I assign? What meaning can I, assign to this situation in order to have my mind have a buy-in? The inner conversations in your head can be crucial. You can have inner conversations that cause an unintentional delay by focusing on an old story and causing you to feel all negative and spiral and have a bunch of negative thinking. Or you can be like, you know what, this is old story. It's going to go in here. I'm just going to keep affirming and persisting. So there you go. And of course, I just think to myself and affirm that all my clients are success stories, and I quite often get success stories. Now, having said that, if you want coaching with me, the links are in the description below. I already reviewed the class that we're having that's literally 2-day that we'd love for you to have a part of if you'd like to join and have accountability with Nikki, myself, and all the other benefits. And I'm sure down the road, Nikki and I will be doing some other things together. Not sure when it'll be, but as soon as we know, we'll let you know. And I would say that that's it. Sorry, I'm getting kind of rambly, but it's an unusual time for me to make a video, and there's that. So drop any comments, questions, or concerns below because I love to check them out. And as usual, I'll talk to you later. Bye.